It's acres and acres of woodlands, meadowlands, and farmlands. It's wetlands and bogs, meandering streams, river corridors, a 10-acre lake, tall trees that filter the sunlight of summer and burst forth with the colors of autumn. It's miles of trails for hiking and biking, or cross-country skiing when the snows of winter fall. But whatever the season, it's a resource for all who seek the restorative power of nature. Yet it is far more. It's also an unwavering commitment to land conservation, environmental education, and improving the quality of life of every Portage County resident. In short, it's the Portage Park District, and in the next few minutes we hope you'll see why it's the natural choice for you.
The Portage Park District was formed in 1991 with the mission of conserving Portage County's natural and cultural heritage.
The first park in the Park District system is the popular Towner's Woods, with 175 acres in Franklin Township. Other district parklands include Dick's Park, with over 100 acres, and 63-acre Breakneck Creek Preserve, both important properties for watershed conservation in Ravenna Township. Western Manaway Township is home to the Chagrin Headwaters Preserve, with 95 acres surrounding the Aurora branch of the Chagrin River. In Palmyra, you'll find the 80-acre Walter Preserve, and in Franklin Township, Camp Spellman, 58 acres set aside for group camping. Two recent additions round out our current park roster: Gray Birch Bog, a 22-acre sphagnum bog ecosystem in Brimfield Township, and the Streetsboro Preserve, 48 acres of woods, wetlands, and wildlife of the Tinkers Creek watershed.
What the Park District has to offer is not only direct conservation of these resources, but also an opportunity to connect the public to those resources. Because as we saw, if the people don't enjoy it, appreciate it, value it, and love it, they're not going to want to protect it. And it's essentially our own life support system. So it's in our vested interest to protect it.
So I think it's very vital that the parks are successful in Portage County. And if you don't develop them now, when there's 300,000 people in this county, there's not going to be any more land.
To better understand the need to protect our open areas now, consider our neighbor to the north. The red areas on this map show Cuyahoga County's developed land in 1948. The green areas undeveloped land, including the county's park system. Now look what's happened in just over 50 years. Virtually the only green space left is that set aside for the county's parks. In addition to parkland, the Portage Park District maintains Headwaters Trail between Manaway and Garrettsville, a limestone-paved 8-mile route through scenic countryside for hikers, bikers, and horseback riders. Also for hikers and bikers is the Portage Hike and Bike Trail, including this segment beginning at Hudson and Judson Roads in Kent, that connects directly to the 32-mile Summit Metro Parks Bike and Hike Trail.
When it was first proposed, I was dead against it, but after I seen what they were doing, they took a hill, cleaned it up, and took a railroad bed that was used for anything but good recreational purposes, and now we have a bike trail that is safe, it's paved, you can ride a bike, you can walk, you get on at this corner here and you can clear up to Macedonia.
When our trail system is completed, it will connect Portage County communities and parks with each other, as well as to trails in neighboring counties. The expansion of our trail system is part of a bigger vision for the future. The Park District has been leading the effort to create a Master Parks, Trails, and Greenways plan. Through a series of community meetings over the past year, we've been talking with residents throughout the county to get their ideas for parks and conservation. And we've been talking with regional experts and local officials to develop a comprehensive parks, trails, and greenways plan, one that will expand our parks and trails countywide so they're within easy reach and can benefit everyone who lives here. That's important because beyond conservation, our public access parks and trails offer free recreation close to home for all who use them. They're great for adults, great for kids too. A healthy, vigorous alternative to television and video games that gets them out and moving, exploring, learning, and growing. For children, our parks are a wonderful living learning lab. Our staff and volunteer naturalists keep busy there and in our schools to educate our children, teach them sound ecological practices, and foster their appreciation of nature.
I feel lucky as a child. I actually grew up in Kent, and on the edge of town, and grew up with a lot of green space and walks along the river and woods. And I want our children to have that experience too, because it's so important, especially now more than ever, to have that unstructured time in nature, that downtime for kids to dream. I think it's a dream. It's a place to follow your curiosity and imagination, and I want our kids to experience that feeling of awe, just being out in nature.
Of all the benefits our parks and trails offer, however, one often goes unnoticed: the economic benefit. Quite simply, our park district delivers pure dollar and cents value to our county, far beyond its relatively small operating budget.
Well, I can tell you from being the chamber director the last 9 years, it's these type of amenities that bring people to your town. So it's a built-in group of people that come in and enjoy the parks and riding their bicycles, and then when they're done they can stick around and enjoy some of the eateries and pubs and unique shops that we have.
Of course, when land remains protected, it requires none of the costly infrastructure developed land does. That saves tax dollars, and natural areas help keep floodwaters under control to minimize flood damage repairs. That means more tax savings. One more reason our Portage Park District is the natural choice for now, for future generations, and we hope the natural choice for you.
But when the land is gone, when the forests are gone, who's gonna replace them? How will they be replaced? They probably won't be. Life is more than just today. We have to be a part of the future too. And I don't think anybody who's responsible could rightfully say that they have no concern for what they're leaving behind. And I think it's important that we use some of our wealth now to make tomorrow's people have some things that we think are important to them.